Alright guys, today we're going to see how the teams from 100, the shortest format in cricket, that is in Cricket 24, how they can do in the longest format of the game, Test Cricket. So first, we've got Birmingham Phoenix versus Welsh Fire. I'm just going to be simulating through the games and having a look at the scorecards, and we're going to see which team is best and which players derive. I reckon it's going to be quite high scoring and quick scoring affair. Anyway, first game. Birmingham Phoenix win by 8 wickets, with player of the match being Liam Livingstone for 185. That is a bonus point win, by the way, for Birmingham Phoenix because they put up over 400 runs. As well as that, Johnny Bairstow putting up 170 and Steve Smith putting up 135. This is a road at Edgbaston, it seems, that everyone managed to score a lot of runs on. It was just some spells from Bethel and Bolt, really, that broke teams down. What a high-scoring affair. Anyway, Ben Duckett and Will Smead really combining to take Birmingham Phoenix to their first victory. Anyway, London Spirit versus Trent Rockets next. I reckon London Spirit are one of the best teams in the tournament. Let's have a look. But despite my reckoning that Spirit are good, Trent Rockets that come out victorious after a Banton 121. Kane Williamson and Ollie Pope both scoring well to give Spirit 295, but the bowlers were actually pretty decent, a lot better than last time. Ollie Stone taking a fifer, George Linder and Worrell both taking fourfers. Keaton Jennings getting 99 as Spirit's chase is in vain. On to the next. Manchester Originals versus Southern Brave, and Originals absolutely tonked them. An innings and 7 runs after putting up over 500. Matthew Hurst, 142, and Phil Salt, 90, is the only reason that they really won the game. That is a huge score, 501. Only James Cole's really putting on anywhere near a good enough bowling performance. Then the Brave scoring 265 with a massive ton from Faf du Plessis, scoring well over half the team's runs, 3-fers from Gregory and Ravindra, and then they bowled Brave out again with only Coles getting over 50 this time. Some good knocks in there from Clarkson and McKinney, who I've put in the Originals side. Garton getting 41 as well, so that was a huge total. Last game of the first round is Northern Superchargers versus Oval Invincibles at Headingley. And Superchargers win by 5 wickets. Jack's 126. Rashid Khan getting a 60-odd cameo. Matt Potts taking 4-fer, as well as Sauter and Potts again. So he took 8-fer in the match. But Superchargers chased the total down after bowling Invincibles out for just 165 second innings, which is really what won them the match. Welsh Fire versus London Spirit next, and the match is drawn. The first draw, as Warner and Madsen both making huge tons, Steve Smith getting 174 not out, and Warner ending the match 99 not out. That is painful. He scored a lot of runs. Chris Wokes also getting a ton. Lot of runs in the early stages of the tournament, with Mason Crane the only one to take a 5-fer. That's some huge totals put up by both teams there. Wow. They just about lost the game though, because it was close in the end actually. They were nearly there chasing the target down, just couldn't quite do it. Next, Manchester Originals versus Birmingham Phoenix at Old Trafford. Originals win by 2 wickets after Will Smead scored 84 in the first innings, Ahmad taking a 4-fer. Heinrich Klaassen scored 87 before Originals chased down 475. 8 wickets down. Garton scoring 112 not out off 190 balls. We need to have a look at this chase. Josh Tongue, 88 off 151 balls. As a tail ender, that is exactly what you want to see. After McKinney also scored a ton. Some incredible batting early in this tournament so far. Ahmad taking 2 4-fers and gaining the Player of the Match award. Superchargers versus Trent Rockets, and the Rockets win by 3 wickets after a very high scoring match again and an incredible chase. What is going on with these last wicket partnerships? Well, not last wicket, but pretty much. Ray and Ahmed, 177 not out, and Lockie Ferguson, 128 not out. That is one of the best chases you will ever see, ever. Not just in Test cricket, ever. What the hell is that partnership? They came together at 164 for 7, put on over 300 runs to get Trent Rockets the win. That is just incredible stuff. Oval Invincibles versus Southern Brave next, and the Invincibles win this one by 4 wickets. After the Brave put up 469, and it's another huge lower order chase with Rashid Khan scoring 103 not out. After Brave, 152 from Deploy, 108 from Craig Overton. You thought it was over, but then 2 relatively low scores by first Invincibles and then the Brave again. So Invincibles were able to chase down a huge target. Only Tymal Mills that took a 5-fer, but a huge amount of runs being scored here. What a chase that is. Gus Atkinson, 50. Next round, and we got the Originals versus the Welsh Fire. And the Welsh Fire win by 17 runs. Johnny Bairstow, 81. Paul Walter, 90. McKinney, 75. And Butler, 70 are the batting highlights. Noor Ahmad taking a 5-fer. He's been really good in this tournament so far. A lot of 3-fers and 4-fers there as Paul Walter gets player of the match. Northern Superchargers versus London Spirit next. And the Superchargers win by 10 wickets. After I've said the Spirit were one of the stronger teams in the tournament, since then they've just been rubbish. The team I support not doing very well here. As Superchargers chased down 144 without a loss of a wicket. That is incredible stuff. Bryden Cast taking a 9-fer. And Keaton Jennings, David Malan both scoring big tons. That's an interesting game as well. Oval Invincibles versus Birmingham Phoenix's next match at the Kia Oval. And the Phoenix win by 2 wickets. Neither London club is doing too well here. Will Jacks and Jordan Cox both getting 70s in the first innings, but Invincibles not making too big of a score. And that is the main reason why they lost the game in the end, because Phoenix then capitalised with Duckett and Livingston both scoring nice amount of runs. And then Curran chimes in with 100, but it's not enough. Jacob Bethel getting player of the match. Southern Brave versus Trent Rockets is at the Edgiest Bowl next. And the Brave win by 1 wicket, so a very tight game. They chased down 132. Looks like an easy target, but it's only because of James Coles' 31 not out that they were able to chase that down. After Vince scoring a huge ton. 171 is an incredible score, as well as Faf's 87. Sam Hain scoring 135. A lot of 4-fers and a 5-fer from George Linder there. Nearly gets the Rockets over the line, but not quite enough. Okay, Welsh Fire versus the Northern Superchargers next. And the Superchargers win by 9 wickets. They are storming through the teams at the moment as they bowled Fire out for 111 first innings with Santner and Lawrence both bowling very well. Then the Superchargers put up 342 with a Crawley ton. First time we've seen him score big runs. And then Adil Rashid taking 4 for 91, bowling Fire out for 370, which is quite a large total. But considering their poor first innings, it was easily chased down by Milan and Lawrence, scoring 82 and 47 respectively. Oval Invincibles versus Manchester Originals. And the Originals win by 167 runs. Oval Invincibles not doing very well in this tournament. Gus Atkinson taking a 4-fer and Norm Ahmad taking another 4-fer and a 3-fer. 7 wickets for him in this game. As well as 4 tons. Lewis Gregory, the first one, and then Sam Curran. Phil Salt, 136, and then Will Jacks, 104 in vain. Southern Brave versus London Spirit. London Spirit haven't won a game yet. And they will continue to not have won a game after this one. As Brave scored 328 first up with Duplessis 135, Ollie Stone 4-fer, Liam Dawson 3-fer. Then Keaton Jennings and Dawson both getting 50s, but not quite enough runs, 50 behind, and then they can't capitalise and come back as Brave make 291 more, and then Bowl Spirit out for 185. Rockets versus Birmingham Phoenix, and the Phoenix win by 1 wicket. They are really doing well as well. The Phoenix and Superchargers looking in pole positions at the moment. Stoinis ton, as well as a Liam Livingstone, 139 not out. 6 for 30 from Trent Boult. That's the first 6 we've seen, I think. And then Phoenix chasing it down with Livingstone scoring another huge score. I don't know how he's not been given player of the match. I think he deserved it over Boult, despite Boult's 8 for 63. I think Liam Livingstone's 200 plus runs were more valuable. Okay, before we go on to the next round of matches, we're going to have a look at who's got the most runs so far and wickets. Noor Ahmad tops the wicket charts with 26 wickets at 24. Linda second with 24 wickets. Hartley in third, 19-29. 19 at 34.1 for Santner, and Cast is the only pacer in the top 5 with 18 at 19. Next we've got the batting, as Steve Smith has the most runs scored, 564 on average of 80.6. Liam Livingstone second, 551, but at a better average of 91.8. David Malan, 478 at 79.7. Faf du Plessis, 446 at 56s, and Zach Crawley 439 as well. Player of the series so far is Livingstone, with 2 Invincibles players on there despite their poor position in the table. Interesting stuff. Okay, next we've got Oval Invincibles versus Welsh Fire at the Kia Oval. And the Fire win by an innings and 150 runs. Wow. The teams that you wouldn't expect are really doing well here, as that's 545 first innings from the Fire, with Stephen Eskenazi and Chris Green both scoring hundreds. Is there anything else in there? Paul Walter scoring 92. That's a decent total. Rashid Khan taking a 4-for, and then Chris Green taking a 6-for and a 5-for. 10-for in the match. 10 for 108. As only Will Jack scoring a 50 for the Invincibles, as their batting was pretty dismal. Southern Brave versus Northern Superchargers next, and the Superchargers win by 7 wickets, continue their brilliant run, Cast 60 not to add to his nice amount of wickets so far. Rashid taking a 10-for, and Faf du Plessis, Michael Bracewell both scoring 70s in vain, as David Malan scored 94 not out as they chased down 218 with relative ease, to be fair, only 3 wickets down in the end. Trent Rockets versus Manchester Originals. As the Originals win by 10 wickets, they breeze to victory, only chasing 23 after they put up 431 in the first innings. Linda taking 4 more wickets to add to his growing tally, but it was in vain as Butler scored 182 with Matty Hurst 89 as well. Rockets failed to put up a huge total. Willie, the only one to really score more than a 50. He scored 115 not, but in the end nowhere near enough as the Originals stormed to victory. 10-wicket win. Birmingham Phoenix versus London Spirit. Can London Spirit continue their losing run, or will they finally win a match? They do win a match. That's good for me. Jamie Smith, 136 not out is what jumps out at me. A very slow knock, to be fair, from him. He's quite a ball player. Liam Dawson as well, 90. Phoenix, Liam Livingstone scoring another 2 50s in the match. 1 not out as well. Jamie Overton taking a 5-for, and Spirit chasing down 118. Not as easily as you would have liked as a Spirit fan, though. 7 wickets down. Welsh Fire versus Southern Brave next. And the Fire win by 8 wickets after a Vince 94, and then Lewis Deploy and Faf du Plessis both scoring tons. Chris Green took 4-for and 3-for. Danny Briggs taking a 5-for. But Fire chased down 489, 2 wickets down. Stephen Eskenazi, 235 not out. As 73 from Johnny Bairstow. That 235, 131 not from Stephen Smith, and Abel chipping in with 37. That is one of the best chases you will see. Not much to speak about on the bowling side of things, as Chris Green gets player of the match. Rockets versus Oval Invincibles is the next match that we go into, and the Rockets win by nearly 200 runs. Really, the Oval Invincibles lagging behind despite being known as one of the most prestigious, if not the most prestigious team in the 100 tournament. David Willey, 84 in the first innings. That was the highest score of the match. It's a low scoring one as wow. That is the first sub-100 score we've seen from any team put up by the Invincibles, who have had a really poor batting lineup throughout the tournament so far. Dismissed for just 96 last innings, chasing over 300. Or nearly, over 300. Rashid Khan getting player of the match. Birmingham Phoenix versus Northern Superchargers is our next match. And the Phoenix win by 214. They're doing very well as well. 173 not from Joe Clark, and Liam Livingston continues his absolutely banging form. He is really showing the England selectors, if they're watching this video, which I very highly doubt, that he should be picked for the Bazball team. Superchargers, Harry Brook the only one really to get going out of their team, as Saudi taking 3 for 19, Adil Rashid taking a 5-fer, and Milne taking a 4-fer as the main bowling headlines. London Spirit versus Manchester Originals. Spirit won their last game, and Originals are playing pretty well at the moment, as Spirit win by an innings and 70, with a Kane Williamson 178, Tom Hartley 6-fer, doesn't matter, as Jaffa Chowan takes 7, and so does Liam Dawson, to dismiss Originals twice for under what Spirit got in one innings. They got 598. If I'm not wrong, that's the highest score we've had. As wow, look at that scorecard, packed with 50s to be fair. Warner 87, Williamson with that big 100, Liam Dawson 71 out, Jamie Smith with a 73, and 66 from Jamie Overton. That's some incredible batting from Spirit. Trent Rockets versus the Welsh Fire. And the Fire win by 132 runs. Chris Wokes scoring 113 and 33 is the only reason they won, really. Other than that, their batting was quite poor, as they got bowled for 145, but bowled out the Rockets for not much more in their first innings. Rockets bowled out for 205, and not too much to speak of this game other than that Wokes ton. Phoenix versus Southern Brave, as the Brave win by 6 wickets after the Phoenix put up 308, with Liam Livingston still finding his fine form intact. Lewis Deploy scoring even more runs. He's been very good this tournament, 176 of 356. Topley and Briggs both taking 4-fers. That's all to speak about on the bowling side of things, as Brave chased down 132 with 6 wickets remaining. London Spirit versus Oval Invincibles, the London battle. And the Invincibles smashed the Spirit by 247 after bowling them for 127 in their last innings. Jack scoring a massive 100, and Rashid Khan, who's been brilliant this tournament, scoring 150 after Warner and Jennings combined to get Spirit to a respectable 377. Of Jaffa Chowan taking 7-fer, but 7 for 190. That is quite an expensive 7-fer if I've ever seen one. Manchester Originals versus Northern Superchargers, next 2 derbies in just the one round, and the Superchargers win this one by 87 runs, with Harry Brook scoring 86. A 5-fer from Santner and a 3-fer as well earn him player of the match, as Ahmad taking more and more wickets. No one scoring a ton for one of the first times in this series, to be honest. That's all really to speak about. Clarkson batted relatively well, a 50 and a 40, but it was in vain as Superchargers won by 87 runs. And that, everyone, is the end of the tournament other than the final. Fire topped the table with 4 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses, 12 points with the 3 bonus points. The net run rate minus 0.14 doesn't really matter considering this is a test tournament, but it's the Fire and the Originals in the final. The Originals lost 3 of their games, the Fire only lost 2, and the Superchargers had a better record than the Originals, but they got 0 bonus points compared to the Originals' 3. Okay, this is the final. Welsh Fire versus the Manchester Originals, 2 teams that look pretty inconspicuous lineup-wise, but let's see who wins. Okay, we've simulated it, and the Fire win by 5 wickets. Oh, God, I've gone out of it. Anyway, Rachin Ravindra 62 to start things off, with Riley Meredith taking 4 for 19, dismissing the originals for an under par 205. However, the Fire only took a 6-run lead into the second innings because of a relatively poor batting performance, only Steve Smith getting over 40. Originals putting up 234 with a Butler 66 and a Phil Salt 50, with Chris Wokes taking a 3-for. And the Fire chased the target down, with Walter and Wokes both combining to get 2 not outs and win the tournament. Let's have a look at the players' stats. Okay, batting-wise, most runs scored, Liam Livingstone storms ahead, having not really played any Test cricket for England. It doesn't matter. He scored 910 runs in this tournament, average of 82.7. Steve Smith is in second with 821, a more expected player on the list. Faf du Plessis in third, Eskenazi in fourth with that huge 235 not out really helping his cause, and Jax also in the list with his 170 helping him out. 40, 40, 39, 37, 36 wickets for the top 5 bowlers, all of which being spinners. Ahmad and Linda joint top of the wicket-taking charts, but Linda vastly better average of 21.6, whereas Ahmad's was 28. Rashid came in third, 39 wickets at 23s, and other than that, it was definitely not a bowler's tournament, I would say. As you can see, best bowling 7 for 190, very expensive. Player of the series, Liam Livingstone. He wins it. He deserved it, definitely. Anyway, I think that was quite fun, and definitely let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me do one of these games, maybe like the Manchester or the Northern Derby, or maybe the London Derby. Let me know if you'd like to see me play through one of them. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video, and goodbye.